Hey guys, what's up? NFL Weekly back to again. And today's video is going to be focused on how the Seattle Seahawks season is pretty much officially over. And it's kind of hard to say that because I'll kind of tell you what was going through my mind. And the reason why their season is pretty much over, the Falcons are taking over, they're looking really good. Nobody's really able to stop them at the moment, not to mention how good Carolina is doing. So what that means, he's got teams really on a roll, and I doubt anything's going to stop them. So the NFC South's going to take over, and you're going to see a lot of playoff teams there. What that means is Seattle doesn't really have a chance because their wild card positions. The NFC is such a good division right now that they have no chance, really. That's what I'm trying to say. So, you see the Seahawks team right here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit what was going through my mind throughout the season. Now I'm going to take you all the way back to week 1 because I think it's important to start at the base, how I predicted the season to go. I thought Seattle would actually go 12-4. Yeah, you heard what I just said. And I thought that because they got really good pickups. They got Lacey over the offseason, who I didn't think he was going to be anything special necessarily, but I thought that he would at least bounce this rushing game somewhere around 100 yards per game. And I thought that the defensive pickup that they also got, Richardson, I thought that was going to be another huge pickup, and the defense would only get better, and this could be like the last hurrah season considering everybody's getting older, and I thought that maybe if this is the last season for all these guys to be together, because you never know, trades happen, then this is a season to be good, and I thought that Paul Richardson would be a good pickup, and that defense would be unstoppable, the best in the league. Well, we saw how that turned out, and mostly I think the biggest problem with my prediction was forgetting about the whole offensive situation. I focused so much on this defense, and this is not just about my prediction. This is probably a lot of how everybody thought. Everybody kind of forgets about the problems. People don't really forget, but kind of sometimes you focus so much on big trades that you kind of stop thinking about what really was the biggest issue. And Seahawks have never been that kind of team. They kind of, in the past few years, never focused necessarily on the biggest issues because they had a quarterback that could carry their offense. They had a defense that was unstoppable and would never, play out of their ordinary. And of course, we saw that on Sunday against the Rams. I mean, that was sad. That was a horrible game. That's the worst Seahawks game I've ever seen. Yeah, home. And it boggles my mind how they can let such a good quarterback, such a good overall defense, even without some of their best starters, fall and get demolished. And like I was saying at the beginning of the season, I thought, you look at these games, the Packer game, I expected to lose. But Seattle still played a good game, and the beginning of the season, they still looked really good. I mean, they beat the Rams. At the Rams, I thought that was going to be probably a teardown. I thought the Rams would probably take that because they were looking good, but Seattle beat them. Down the road, a few games happened. Before I knew it, the Seattle Seahawks, the record didn't completely show up, but I thought they were really good. And then finally, the Philadelphia Eagle game, I thought that would be the start of a roll. They could potentially win out, go 11-5, 12-4 maybe still. And then their season dipped. It fell and it lost somewhere. And, there's not really much you can say about that because they lost to the Jaguars. I expected that. And then they lost to the Rams. And when that happened, I expected it, but I didn't realize how tough the NFC was. And I think my biggest fault was, I think, as far as predicting, the biggest reason why I was wrong so many times was because of the injuries and mostly because of the O-line. And Seattle just could not finish games. I don't like doing this, but I have to blame at least one game on Blair Walsh, Seahawks kicker. You can't really blame players because players always make mistakes, so you can't just expect them to be perfect. But kickers have one job. And even if Blair Walsh made one, but if he even made 2 field goals, they would have won the game. So that's one game that would have kept them in the playoff picture right now. Imagine that, but also the Falcons game. You know that game? Yeah? The one where they went into overtime, but, they didn't go into overtime because of Walsh. If Walsh would have made that kick, it wasn't that hard. It was only like a 50-something yarder That's not super hard, but it's still pretty hard. Overall, though, I think if he made that, that would have been a different season. That was a season difference maker. And, Seattle just could not come up big when they needed to win. They won games you might not have expected, like the Rams game, the Philadelphia Eagles game at the beginning of the season, and the Rams game at the beginning, and the Philadelphia game. But they were on and off. They weren't consistent, and they didn't know how to play good football the whole season. They lost big key players. I thought they would play good. They didn't, and they got crushed at home. And that's disappointing. That's really, sad that they got that crushed. So, you know what? Seattle's probably just going to go 9-7. I don't think they're going to go 8-8. I don't think they're that bad, but, their season's over. Too many good teams out there right now, and you can't expect everything to go right for them. So, my predictions have been off, and, to be honest with you, a lot of my predictions were kind of just let's see what happens. I kind of wasn't 100% sure, but I definitely had an idea in mind. And both that Rams game and especially the Jaguars game, I really, for the Jaguars game, thought Seattle probably would lose, but I still kind of went with them just because it's hard to say, though, guys, because you never know what's going to happen. So, anyways, Seattle Seahawks season is over, and I guess it's on the next season for them. But until then, I guess we're just going to have to see what happens. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.